Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dugout Football Channel. It is weird saying that. I will admit that's not live at this, but hello, everyone. Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. Of course, no Doug tonight because Doug is on a stag do. Not his own yet, but he is on a stag do, and we probably won't see him for about 3 weeks, as we've already said in the private chat. But hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And I am joined by the usual panelists tonight. First of all, Jack from Jack LFC. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Not too bad, mate. And Doug, if you're watching, stop watching. Have a good night. I'm pretty sure you will up there anyway. So it's in safe hands with all of us anyway. But hopefully everyone at home is having a good weekend. Well, start your weekend. And yeah, cheers, mate, for having me on. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, as always.
Don't thank me. I'm just here to wing it. Don't even ask me. To be fair, but it's good to see you as always, mate. We've also got Dan, Mr. 1-1, as Doug always likes to say. Dan, how you doing, mate?
I'm sorry, mate. I'm still having some technological issues with my phone. God knows what's gone. So I'll just have to put up with me sort of black screen again, unfortunately. But it is what it is. But yeah, other than that, I'm sorry, mate, and glad to be on as always.
Absolute pleasure, man. And look, Dan could be doing anything right now he wants to.
I'm naked. I'm completely naked.
If I turn my camera off, I'd like to say my camera.
I know that's a lie. But of course,
my camera's broken.
Put your pajamas on.
I could just do that, so it makes it. Well, we are joined by the amazing Soph as well. Soph, how you doing?
I'm all right, honey. Looking forward to it. Should be a bit of a laugh now that we haven't got the boss here.
True. It's exactly like when the teacher goes out of the room and all the kids are allowed to do whatever they want. That's exactly.
We've got the supply teacher in today, so
Tonight you won't be getting rubbish bounced off your head, lad. It sounds.
No, it sounds. But look, guys, hopefully all of you are on a fantastic day. We do have a very packed show for you tonight. Chris is in saying, "Evening all, no pleasure, Connor. No pleasure at all, Chris. Hopefully on a fantastic day."
No pleasure.
What's he say? No pressure.
You've gone full me, dyslexia mode, lad.
To be fair, when you read it really quick, in my head it was that, but no pressure. To be fair, it's not. It's like we said, I'm still a supply teacher. You can just allow everything to go on. Gary's in as well, saying evening all. And like I said, hello, fellow Reds. Hopefully on a fantastic day. But of course, let's get on straight to it. And of course, Liverpool are Carabao Cup champions. Doug told me to put Cheers Kepa in the title of it. So that isn't me taking the mick, but still, thank you very much, Kepa. But Jack, Liverpool are 9-time League Cup winners. You know, how amazing does it feel to say those words?
Yeah, best competition around, mate. I've always wanted to win this competition. We 9-time champions. It's Jurgen Klopp in his press conference said he had the same feeling as winning the Champions League, which is strange, but I can understand where he's coming from. Trophies at the end of the day, it's great. It means we're being successful, and hopefully it's the 1 of 4. We can win all 4 this season, mate. But it was just obviously the way it unfolded, really, in terms of the penalty shootout. And as Doug's alluded to in the title there, Kepa, I think it's still flying out of Wembley. It hasn't landed yet, but yeah, it was tremendous, mate. And to beat Chelsea, there's no better team apart from obviously Man United or City, but yeah, a great result. And I made up Jurgen. But can we talk about, obviously, we'll speak about the man that didn't play, really, Minamino. We'll speak about him tonight, how important he was in the running into the semis and through the quarters and the semis as well. But yeah, made up, mate. And as a best competition in the world.
Well, I do. Well, so if I will ask you this, I know that, you know, of course, we've all said it, that, of course, the Mickey Mouse trophies.
I've always said that.
Don't get me started.
Like, I've watched every single second of this Carabao Cup. Like, I know exactly. Shush. I mean, as Jack said, it's the most important thing in the world. It's like winning the Champions League all over again.
No, but for you, so in terms of, you know, Jurgen did say that he did feel like it was the Champions League all over again in terms, and I think it's where, you know, with the atmosphere as well, how, you know, great that crowd was on Sunday, like previous. I think that was a huge, you know, advantage towards Liverpool, because even when the whole game, all you could hear was Liverpool fans. For me, I couldn't hear too many Chelsea fans, watching it on the telly. But what were your thoughts on Liverpool becoming Carabao Cup winners?
You know what? I think when Jurgen said it's like winning the Champions League, he's not saying that the trophies are the same. He's not comparing the two. He's saying the feeling of, like Jack said, bringing silverware home is always great for morale for a team, and it sets us on course for a really good season now. But I'll always say I'm not a big fan of the domestic cups like that. I don't care if we go out to them normally, but seeing how much our young lads work to get to that final, how much importance it had for them, and the likes of Minamino as well, who basically, and Kelleher, who were the cup, they were the stars of that cup. It meant everything to them. So winning it was great, because it was like, for me, no, I wouldn't have always picked that to win. But winning it was like a really good starting point. Like, it laid the foundation of sound. Here we go. Like, Chelsea and Liverpool have got to the final of the Carabao Cup. We beat them. Let's go on for the next one. And obviously now we'll go on for the FA Cup next. But I think it set the precedent for me, and especially with the fact that you, like you said, you didn't hear a Chelsea fan at all, really. You just, all you heard was Liverpool, because bringing home silverware is always boss. And like, me and my dad were jumping around the house celebrating it like it was bringing the Champions League home on penalties. I'm stood behind a pillow, because trophies are trophies, aren't they? So bring it home, put it in the cabinet. It's nice, add a bit more shine to the room.
Well, yeah, definitely. And Dan, I know that Doug's got a thing about how good was. I'm not even going to pronounce Kelleher's first name. I do not want to butcher it.
Caoimhin, isn't it?
Caoimhin, yeah. But how good was he? Because we've seen in previous games, especially against Chelsea, of course, in the league, when he was just thrown in against Chelsea, with due to Ali having COVID and that. How good was he? Because I thought, he was up there with one of the best players on the pitch for Liverpool on Sunday.
He was really good, mate. I thought he possibly could have been man of the match. Sometimes the sponsors and that, they want the more high profile players to get it, don't they? The likes of Van Dyke and Salah to get it, because obviously them pitches go all around the world and that. But personally, I would have had no problem with Caoimhin getting it. He was brilliant during the game. He was rock solid with his handling. He's always so calm with his distribution with the ball at his feet. And he made one or two really, really excellent saves, didn't he? That he couldn't do nothing with any of the goals, the offside goals that went in. And obviously didn't count for anything anyway. And other than that, he made 2 or 3 really great saves. Penalty shootouts, possibly one or two he could have got a bit closer to. I think there's one squirmed underneath him. Then I think the commentator said the Liverpool players in the centre circle, a couple of them were already running up, to celebrate, and then it went underneath him. But didn't matter, did it? When it come up, he also obviously scored his penalty, so I thought he was brilliant, mate. The issue with him now going forward is the cat's out the bag, isn't it, long term? Is he going to be happy being a number 2 keeper? No, I would have thought. Obviously, then Liverpool have got a dilemma, haven't they? We obviously don't want to sell him. He's had him on loan, but obviously we want him, don't we, as well as backup keeper? So it's going to be an issue that we're going to have to resolve probably next season. But yeah, other than that, yeah, Kelleher was absolutely brilliant. Just to answer your question, was he fantastic? And what an achievement, to win a trophy, such a young man. Not played many games, got a trophy in the bag, happy days.
Yeah, 100%. And Jack, he's now been added, of course, to the Champions Wall for goalkeepers, which I thought was brilliant. Straight away, apparently it was one of the first things that had to be done, and I absolutely loved seeing it. But to go on, what Dan did just say, we've got Ali Becker, when he is fit and available, one of the best in the world. Kelleher now, we're at this fantastic period where we actually have 2 class goalkeeper, one that's obviously world class, but one that's coming up to that, because Kelleher, time and time again has proved that he is capable of just being thrown in and going straight into the deep end. And I think Sunday, as Dan said, was a great point for that. But do you think that it is, like Doug said there, is it before long that you see him potentially becoming Liverpool's number 1, or do you think that he might go out on loan, maybe a season or 2, come back and then have a look again?
Yeah, it's setting a strong foundation for Liverpool's future, and I'm pretty sure he's about 22, 23 years old. Obviously, Alisson will be at the club hopefully for another 10, 15 years. But the place will be there for him if he does continue his development, as Dan have so said anyway, and everyone in the chat. if we need to, and if Kelleher wants to go and get first team football, because easily he could go to another Premier League team mid-table and establish himself as a first team regular with his quality, especially how good he is with it in terms of distribution on the floor. He's learned so much already over the last couple of years at the club. It helps. Even Adrian, I know we joke about it, but he probably has learned a lot from Alisson coming in. But if we need to, loan him out. But obviously, if Adrian, obviously you don't want to be putting yourself in a worse position in terms of his development and keeping up the football club, keeping him happy. Pretty sure they'd sign a new deal and then Liverpool would loan him out if the situation did arise where they wanted to gain more first team football. Liverpool would never sell him, especially a player of that quality. We'd probably, in about 1 or 2 years, if he wanted first team football, loan him out to a Premier League team or a big European team. And I'm pretty sure we'd bring in someone of similar level, a bit older, and really someone that's willing to be on the bench. Or we never know with Adrian. I think he will leave come the end of this year, but you never know. Things can develop very quick in football, mate. But yeah, tremendous. And it just, as we spoke about Minamino already tonight, Divock Origi as well, and the younger players, and even Kelleher, it just shows how good in every area of the pitch, probably apart from right back. Obviously, it's impossible to replace Trent's quality, but if you look all around the team, there's so much quality, and goalkeeping position is one of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and so like as Jack said there, the whole squad was used in the cup competition, which I absolutely loved, and the fact that everyone scored a pen as well. I absolutely love that fact. And of course, Jurgen has spoken about the last couple of days, speaking about, Liverpool have, we have been learning and, doing better with set pieces. But which one was the best penalty in your opinion? Because I know there's many people with different opinions and thoughts, but I think I already know yours. But what would be your favourite pen from Sunday?
Obviously, you know which one I'm going to go with. But I've just got to give special mention to Fabinho's. That Panenka was just brilliant. It's got, not because he's my favourite, but it's the fact that Kepa was goading him and he's standing to the right corner, top corner, and Virgil goes, all right, yeah, smacks him, and it's the look he gives him back. That takes pure skill and confidence to not only call the keeper on the bluff, but he wasn't falling, and he still smacks it in with that much power that he couldn't. And it's that for me was a penalty that just kind of went, oh, yes, there we go. But Milner's was good as well, but I think I'm going to have to go for Virgil's just because it was the attitude. I think that rattled Kepa quite a bit as well.
Yeah. No, I thought you were going to go with Virgil. Dan, have you got a favourite penalty from Sunday?
Could only agree. There was some belters, wasn't there? Obviously, Fabinho, Virgil, Trent was a good one. There's a few good ones. There's only really, I think, Canate who sort of got away with it a little bit, wasn't it? But other than that, I thought they were all good.
Yeah.
Canate's had a lot of force behind it. Yeah, it was but he's not a penalty taker, is he? Obviously at that point, you're basically going through the squad going, he's never trained penalties probably in training, and he's just wallied it at him. He's taken a simple penalty, but he's done it effectively. So I think it was a good pen, to be honest, from Canate.
Yeah, I'm not having a go at him. If you think about it, he was the last penalty taker, wasn't he, before the keeper? So he's obviously the worst, if you want to call it that, of the penalty takers. So yeah, I mean, I was obviously delighted to go in, but it was the only one that I can remember Kepa having any sort of chance with. But yeah, it was fine. But yeah, the three, Trent, Fabinho, and Van Dyke, yeah, all awesome.
Yeah.
Jack, same boat.
Yeah, well, it's when we've all we played football in the park. We don't, penalties are weird, aren't they? The 50-50, but the science that went in, obviously off the back of winning it. Obviously, there's so much science that goes into football now, and as he said there, mate, Jurgen Klopp has brought in, we've brought in a throw-in specialist, brought in penalty specialists now, the data behind every single penalty, but. Yeah, I'd have to pick Van Dyke, as Soph said. Bloody put him in the back of the net. There's one person you do not want to do that. The one player in world football that's probably got the most self-confidence is Virgil Van Dyke. He's a sexy human being. He's a man mountain. He's a god in himself. And as he says, he stared him down. He was like, basically, fuck off, and then go back to London.
When he turned around, he just went next. Like, well, most of those jump comments that was boss.
Yeah, it was the shushing as well that got to me. I know, like, it was obviously they were kicking in towards, but haven't they learned from Ben White this season? Like, he bottled it in the second leg and then got Reece James. I know it's mind games, but if you're gonna shush half of the stadium, at least win the penalty shootout, boys. Come on.
Did anyone with just Jack there saying about the stats and all the tech, the go into it? Did anyone see the stat showing that Kepa's pen was the quickest of all the pens that got took? It was 0.4 seconds from after the referee blew his whistle, which was by far the quickest.
He wasn't doing a penalty though, he was doing a goal kick.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
He's watched a lot of the rugby, I think, by the looks of it.
Yeah. Doing a successful conversion, like just kicking over the bar. Yeah. But no, guys, let us know your thoughts anyway, of course, in the comment section down below. But like Jack said with the shush, absolutely loved that, especially when Reece James. I can expect it from foreign players to do it a little bit, but when it's like English players, you should know what you're doing. And then, of course, karma come back to bite him on the arse. But Colin needs glasses by the looks of it. Mate, I do. My vision's going. Cheers, Kepa, says Sebastian. Gary says Kepa is still a bloody mug. I'm not going to mention that. Mitchell's in. Hello, Mitchell. Move out the way, Forest or Huddersfield. Jurgen's got a semi on. Course, we will speak about the FA Cup in a brief moment. Kepa ball is in my back garden. My dog Charlie playing with it. Sorry, can't have it back. Statman Stubbs, hello Steve, hopefully on a fantastic day, mate. Says, how are we all doing? Happy Friday, and a big 3 points incoming tomorrow for the mighty Reds. Fingers crossed, of course, fingers crossed. It's a bit of a reach saying it like we're winning the Champions League.
Jürgen's words there, Eamon, sorry lad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, if the quadruple happens, we'll all do something. I'm not going to say on camera, but we'll go running down the street. Winning League Cups, just confidence for the rest of the season. No, it does, and we've spoken about it plenty of times, haven't we? Of how the confidence will boost from this going on. I know Dirk Cow did speak about it as well before the final. Chris saying, I want to win everything. I'm greedy man. It's like me, like roast dinners. Fill the plate in them terms and then fill that cabinet. Well, to be fair, we can literally just put one cabinet in an Everton. Still dust climbing in their cabinet. To be fair, Halil is as well. Chris says at the moment I think Kelleher is happy to be number 2. I'd hope so. Eamon says Kelleher is like a young Manuel Neuer. A bit bold, but I love it, absolutely love it. Rich is in as well. Hello, Rich. Hopefully on a fantastic day. Gary says, "Can I say Soph is a nice lass?" Very nice. Best pen, but James freaking Milner was class. Of course, it's his favourite penalty as well. But to be fair as well, taking the first pen, it's always the nervous one, isn't it? And look, James Milner is as calm as you like. Anyway, but let's move on then to a little bit of a sticky situation, I would say, and that is, of course, is the European Super League back? Unfortunately, it does seem to be back, but there is good news. Liverpool do not seem to be a part of the new European Super League, even though the structure for the Champions League in 2024-25 is gobshite. It is gobshite. And you look at it, and apparently it is meant to be Juventus, Barcelona, and Real Madrid that have pushed again to have the league resumed. Jack, first thoughts about this, mate? Again, those 3 teams not getting punished by the likes of UEFA and so on. Thoughts on it? Because it looks to be that, it might be some English teams might go into it, but it looks like not all by the first looks of it anyway.
And if it does go ahead, those 4 teams, as you mentioned, or any teams that matter, I honestly hope to get banned. Makes it easy for Liverpool to win the Champions League. And if it was the case, I think they did talk about when it did crop through that you would get your European title stripped away and that would be a travesty for Liverpool. We've won 6 times European, or would it replace it? But a load of nonsense. I think all of, as we said a couple of months ago, I think the whole footballing family was all singing from the same hymn sheet. I understand football develops as over. It's developed so much even since Sky come into the mix. Obviously, football is very much money orientated. They are businesses at the end of the day. But even still, for me, it takes away from the glitzy and the glamour of obviously Champions League. Is it like 5 away, 5 home games?
Yeah.
Is that in the new Champions League format itself as well? It's madness. When will these governing bodies not learn? I understand you want to try and maximize your revenue streams as a company, but even still, it means it means charging the fans. It's going to be even more expensive. It's already mad enough to go and follow Liverpool away and even at home in terms of the competition. So they're living in cloud cuckoo land, all these big executives of these companies, Champions League, FIFA, UEFA. And hopefully, as Henderson said all those months ago, he shot down the rumours straight away. What was it, 24 hours post the Leeds game? I think it will be the same again. All these clubs want this to happen because they're all skint, mate. The Premier League teams are all minted because it's the best league and the best for advertising in world football. It creates the most amount of money. Juventus, Barca, they're all skins. That's the only reason they want. They're getting, 400 million supposedly if you do sign up straight away. Because they'll literally, if you threw 20 quid at them, they jump out of the bloody box. But yeah, mate, don't get me even more irritated with it. But yeah, it's does me head in. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I know. To be fair, I'm looking at it now, and what the current new rules are is it's meant to be 36 teams going up from 32. Group stages are replaced by one big league table. Each team plays 10 games, 5 home, 5 away. It's 100 additional games, which of course adds money to TVs and sponsorships, and so on. The top 8 sides in the league phase will qualify automatically for the knockout stages. Teams finishing 9th to 24th place will compete in the 2-legged playoffs to secure their path into the last 16. So for me, it's like exactly what Jack said. For me, I don't get why UEFA have gotten, the idea of changing it. For me, the European Cup, it's the most prestigious, thing you can win. You look at it, we've been fortunate enough to win it 6 times, and hopefully, this season we got to win a 7th. For me, I just don't get why they would change it. And for me, they don't help themselves neither, because by the looks of things, UEFA are not going to be budging from this neither, by the stands of it. But what are your thoughts anyway? Would you agree with Jack on a big part of it?
It's absolute bullshit. It's absolute bollocks, the whole thing. And what irritates me is when you actually break down what this new Champions League format is. You go, oh yeah, you play 5 home games, 5 away games, top 8 go through into knockouts. It's still the group stage, but instead of having 6 or 8 different groups playing, 6 games each, you're now putting them all in a league table. What was wrong with the group stages? Because it's essentially the same thing. You're just playing 5 teams instead of 3 others now. It's adding 2 teams to your group, basically. That's all it's doing. And then you're going into knockouts anyway. And then the teams who didn't qualify, who would have essentially come second in their group anyway, and now going to come through anyway. And then you go into knockouts and you do the same format. Then you do the knockouts, then you do the quarters, the semis, the final. Same thing. Why are you fixing what ain't broke? Leave football alone. Doug, seriously, you're on a stag do.
Yeah, get off the stream.
Get off the go away.
I was like, you're on a stag do. Get off the stream.
The supply teacher has got this, Doug. Go away.
He's in the middle of some Scottish pub going, yeah.
But no, it's just, if it ain't broke, why are you messing with it? And I think Chris says it in the chat there, like, UEFA are doing this because of the pressure from the Super League. I think, let's change our format to kind of pinch a little bit of the Super League format, make a hybrid of the two, and that'll appease them. But the teams like, Juventus, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they're not going to budge from the Super League because, as Jack said, you throw 5p at them and they're going to bite your hand off for it. You know what I mean? They're that skint. We don't need it. And I agree with Jack. If any British team, Premier League team, goes into that, take the titles, ban them from the domestic league, ban you from the Premier League because you don't need it. The European Super League is just a money-making scheme. It's like the Super Bowl. You're not actually going to have football in it. You're going to put players at massive injury risks. You're going to put teams at massive bills because they're going to have to squad that. Because you're going to have to, improve and not improve. You're going to have to increase, squad size. You're going to have to. You can't run all these 5 different competitions on the same squad size you've got now. You have to be able to have squad A, squad B now. So that's wages. That's recruitment fees. That's everything's going to go through the roof money. So teams are going to end up spending more than they're going to get. Economically in long term, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't work. Just being greedy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, Dan, I absolutely echo what Soph and Jack has just said. It's the fact that it's the teams like Madrid that you look at their current phase at the moment. Of course, they're speaking about getting Kylian Mbappe for what is it, about 1 billion? I think the whole deal is going to be worth in the end, which is ridiculous. The new stadiums that they're building, realistically, they're not running out of money then, but they're greedy, and that's the worst thing of all of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole of football's greedy, isn't it, mate? It's all about money. Everybody knows that. This Super League, it's never gonna. I don't think it'll ever go away, mate, until it'll happen. I remember when I was a kid playing computer games on my Sega Master System, European Super League, it was called. It was actually quite good, to be honest with you. You used to play all the good teams and none of the crap ones. So, but yeah, this it's not gonna go away, mate. It's just all a thing about money. And yeah, we'll just wait and see. As I say, there's not really much to add from what Sophie and Jack have said, really. But we'll wait and see what happens. I say at least Liverpool for now are keeping out of it and aren't dragging our name through the mud again. But listen, I wouldn't sort of hold your breath or whatever, or count your chickens, because I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool do jump back on the train at some point if it starts having a bit of legs and getting a bit of traction. And it looks like it's going to happen. I'm sure Liverpool will jump straight on. I'm sure all the English clubs will.
It's the thing in it, Dan, and so when everyone, the delegates in Liverpool's boards, there is a fan representation, and I'm pretty sure if FSG were to go, I know the reports coming out as behind closed doors are saying Liverpool haven't agreed and they're not done it too. But if that was the case and they stripped our European titles, because that's what UEFA's stance was when it first initially come out, wasn't it? All the teams that go into that competition will be getting their titles stripped and will no longer ever be allowed to compete in the European competition in the Champions League. And there was this thing about the player welfare in terms of obviously players potentially getting banned from the Euros or the World Cup if the players that jumped into bed with this newly, as Dan said, it probably will arise and it will become popular in the next even couple of years. Obviously, if they keep on coming back, but it's the fella that runs bloody Real Madrid. He's a bloody joke.
Florentino Perez.
Yeah, it probably will happen, European Super League, in the next 5-10 years. But at the minute, they've changed it that it's not a closed shop. But even still. Sorry,
Jack. I was going to say they'll keep knocking on the door until they find a way of doing it that is palatable for people, and then it'll happen.
Yeah, money talks, as you said, Mason, and it will be the fans. It's always the fans that are left to pick up the massive price tags for all the players that go in the game. It's going to be in the next, as it has been. It used to be 50p to get into the cup, or obviously. Money is always changed so much, but if it continues going your trajectory football, you don't have to get a mortgage to bloody go to the game in the next 50 or 100 years. They're even getting a bloody shirt bad enough. But end of my rant, sorry, lad.
Well, no, it is, isn't it? Already, you look at things, the prices that they are, and you are right. It's the fans that do end up taking up, and trying to rebuild the bridges. And if Liverpool did go into it after, spending the last year building the relationship back up with the fans, I think, a lot of people would be absolutely furious about it. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Liz says, I think this whole Super League is a way of complicated, and the changes to the Champions League are whacked. It's again, why change if it's not fixed? That's the simple thing of it. UEFA we already read that one out. Are panicking because there's under threat from the Super League and will be replaced by the Super League, in my opinion, says Chris. Gary says, not again, the Super League is still stupid. I don't bloody want it. I think that is pretty much all of us. UEFA say, we care about the fans. I couldn't stop laughing at the irony. Sorry, it's too funny, says Chris. Well, it's like, it's that thing, isn't it, where they've apparently granted, or they're going to grant around 25,000 free tickets for the Champions League final for whoever goes then. It's like, yeah, you really care about your fans, don't you, UEFA? Of course, Doug is in. Doug, go away. But it says, good evening, guys. Currently in Hawksmoor, or Hawksmoor, I should say, having steaks. Connor's doing a fab job. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. Yes, please go do that. And please enjoy your steak. Go away. Go off YouTube. UEFA care about under the table money. Exactly, Liz. Have fun, Doug, and thank you, says Doug. Anyway, but let's move away then from, of course, depressing Super League, and let's talk about the Reds moving on through another cup competition. Taki Minamino double sends the Reds through to face Nottingham Forest or Huddersfield as well in the FA Cup. Jack, of course, you was at the game. Of course, Taki getting 2 goals yet again. I believe now that's 9 goals in all competitions or this season. You know, he's having a really good season, isn't he, in the cup competitions? I don't think we've all realised it.
Yeah, he's having a better season than Messi. Like, what? It's stats-wise he is. But yeah, it was a weird game, mate. I don't know if everyone watching at home picked up in terms of the atmosphere. It was very disjointed in terms of the whole stadium singing different songs and all that. It was probably one of the weirdest atmospheres I've been at Anfield in a very long time, mate. But as I said, I think it gets to this point in the season where we're through. If it was a 1-0 win and we got into the next round, considering the amount of fixtures we have got coming up in the next couple of weeks for a lot of the teams. But we got a very lovely draw, which we'll probably speak about in a bit. But that is we got the easiest, so-called easiest draw possible. Obviously, it could have been slightly better playing at home, but beggars can't be choosers anyway. But Forest and Huddersfield, both of them, supposedly, judging from the championship table, they are vying for promotion. Be interesting to see how serious did you take it. Forest beat Arsenal and Leicester, so 2 big scalps. It's not hard not beating both of them anyway. We've done that, so to say. Typical Arsenal getting beat by Forest. But yeah, made up, mate. The result, Taki yet again, as he said. He's had a massive season, and I'm pretty sure if Liverpool are going to be successful in Champions League and the Premier League, as we've all said, Taki will have a massive say in all the competitions that we hope to win. But yeah, he was tremendous.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so for me, I think as well, one guy in particular I thought had a very, very good game was Joe Gomez, apart from the one mistake that did lead up to the goal, which I think even that is a bit debatable being, on him. But I thought, look, for someone that hasn't played much football this season, I thought he was, looking calm and collected and looking like the Joe Gomez of old at times as well. But what were your thoughts about the game overall and Joey Gomez's performance?
I mean, the game overall I thought was really good. I mean, I think Norwich, they pushed a lot and they were on the fortunate side of lucky, I'd say, to get the goal the way they did. But that's no disrespect to the way Liverpool played. I think we played a really good game. And Joe Gomez in particular, for someone, like you said, who hasn't played for so long, he was our second choice centre-back partnered with Van Dyke. And to drop from there to essentially 4th would have completely and utterly shattered his confidence, to go from being Virgil's right-hand man to now being only played in an FA Cup game could have been really demoralising. But he came on that mentality monster. It doesn't matter when I play, how I play, who I play with, I'm going to give it me all. And I think he really did. He was really quick as well, considering when he first came back from his leg break, he was very, I want to say he slowed his pace down. He was a bit, apprehensive, wasn't he, of making those quick runs back. And it was like the Joe Gomez of old. He was really quick. He was very clinical. He thought, he read the game well. He read Norwich. And I know obviously it's not that difficult with it being Norwich. But overall, I think Gomez had a really good game, and that, he really did control that back line well for me. So I was happy with him. I thought he played well.
Yeah, definitely. And Dan, another guy as well, I thought had also had a very good game before he was taken off at half time, was Curtis Jones as well. Him not playing in the final, I know he would have been very disappointed by that, but of course Jurgen having faith with him, of course for the half. Hopefully we will speak about injury news a bit later on for the West Ham game. But was there any other standouts for you?
I'll be honest with you, Connor. I was in work, so I didn't see any of it. But just so I won't lie. But just on the subject of Curtis Jones, yeah, I believe he did that quite a good first half, isn't he? And what I'd say to Curtis Jones is, and to all the guys really, we've got, if you're disappointed about not playing last Sunday, which I'm sure he was, we've got two standouts there in our midfield. Obviously, Fabinho and Thiago are pretty much shoo-ins if we were playing a big game. But that other position, everyone's kind of had a go. Henderson's had a go. Kaiser's had a go. Harvey Elliott's had a go. Oxlade-Chamberlain's had a go. Curtis has had a go. So I'd say to all of them players, you've got that position's there if you want it. When you play, don't come in tomorrow or whenever you're playing, drop a 6 and moan if you're not in the next cup final team. That position's there. You've got to earn it now. You know what I mean? No one's standing out today. When you get your next chance, you need to be a top performer. I didn't see Wednesday, but yeah, I believe he played well, but he got a little knock, didn't he? So I don't know whether he's available tomorrow. One thing I was made up about though on Wednesday, I seen a few teams, people were predicting teams with like Connor Bradley and Tyler Morton and all that, and I was a little bit worried. I thought we don't want to be too cavalier, you know what I mean, because they're a Premier League team. So I was made up and actually seen the team, and although it was 10, 11 changes, they were also proper base team squad members, and we're throwing up the Reds and onto the next round. Happy days.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, who do we want? Do we want Forest or Huddersfield out of the two, or both?
I think Huddersfield, only because we've played them a few times recently, haven't we? A few couple of years ago, and I don't think they're like a really sort of hostile, vociferous fan base. But Forest, they have traditionally got that big fan base, and having not played them for years, they might kick up a bit of a din. And it, make it a bit, don't get me wrong. I think we're going to go through and I think we're going to win. But if it just had to pick one, I'd just say just Huddersfield, just for that reason.
Yeah, I go Forest just for the love affair with obviously both teams have got a massive history. If it was Liverpool won the FA Cup, I might be wrong, in 1989, I think, when we did face Forest, and I think we knocked them out. So fingers crossed. And obviously when we've played Norwich, I think in the history books, we've always gone on to win. So it's a bit mad. Norwich, they'll be like, thank God we don't have to play Liverpool again.
They're mates, aren't they?
Yeah, because he is.
The only team I wouldn't want to draw in this FA Cup who's left would be us. So bring on your City, bring on your Huddersfield, bring on Forest, bring on whoever you want who's left. The only team I wouldn't want to draw is Liverpool. I'd be sat there going, oh God, not them. Because you just know, don't you, we're not a nice team to play against.
Yeah, no, definitely. And look, I remember looking on Twitter earlier of Manchester City fans complaining about that they've got a Premier League team. Goddamn time.
Boo-hoo, isn't it?
What happened to City chants again? To be the best, you've got to beat the best.
Just don't get me started. But that's what was on Twitter earlier. Anyway, but guys, let us know your thoughts anyway. Gary says Taki was...
Sorry, did anybody actually see that City fan who posted like a graphic of like Kevin De Bruyne and all that and was like, we'll see things you'll never see? Like,
no.
Post that with like the Community Shield and something like, we'll see things you'll never see. And I was like...
One thing I did see that made me laugh in Connor. One thing I did see in midweek that made me laugh was someone made like a mock-up of the Liverpool website saying they're going to parade the Premier League trophy with the League Cup trophy this Sunday. And it obviously I knew it was fake, but it kind of looked legit. And you should have seen some of the replies. It got I don't know who made it. I think it was a City fan made it, trying to banter Liverpool. But it backfired because all the City fans were going, oh, they're a joke. They're so cringy. Are they going to try and borrow our trophy? Bloody, and it just went on and on and on. It was brilliant.
Just the City fans in general, like absolutely raging and being like, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. Doesn't count. Doesn't move. It's like, pretty sure whenever you've won it, you've wanted to like put on a full-on parade for it. To pipe down. Shut up. Well.
It's typical City.
Yeah. It's our competition. We've won it 9 times up to this.
You're the most successful British team in history.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this show. Tacky was brilliant. I want Forest. Liz says Tacky time. Chris says, I'd rather keep Minamino than Ox. I like Ox, but time for him to leave. Hello, Adam.
Another show.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was actually Manchester City themselves who posted it. We'll see things you'll never see.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, getting battered by Middlesbrough now.
One quote tweeted it. I just doubt it.
I love that.
He's actually thinking they're playing Billy Big Bollocks. They're like, we'll see things you'll never see. Sorry, carry on.
Hopefully Southampton knocked them out. Oh, love it. Yeah.
No, to be fair, let's hope that Sporting come back and beat them 6-0 in the Champions League. That would be absolutely fantastic.
I know. I went to the final with them and just batter them in the final, like 3-0 by 20 minutes, and just be like, sorry, European royalty. You know what? Score 1 goal for every European Cup we've got.
Yeah, we'll beat them in the FA. Imagine if we beat them in the FA Cup, beat them in the Champions League in the final, and then beat them in the Prem. And psychologically, their heads will be down the M52 or something by the end of next season.
Pep's head just blown completely off. Andrew says, Taki is the Japanese Messi. I can't say this enough, but Tsimikas, the Greek scouser, what an absolute superb signing. I would love for him to score against City at the Etihad in April, or the Empty Head, I should say, in April when he comes on. Hopefully, mate. Tyler Morton, I thought, had an okay game when he come on. Yeah, he was pretty decent, to be fair. Evening Reds and others. Hello, Jeannie. Hopefully on a fantastic day, mate. Guys saying hi to Jeannie as well. Huddersfield for me, says Liz. Jack with the
you can't buy history, sorry City, fuck you. It's written in the history books, lads.
Oh, do you know what, Jack? I love your little quips, you know, they probably make me howl.
Liz says, got around cooking lasagna for my son who's coming home from university for spring break. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, Liz.
Have a good time, Liz. Save us some. Yeah, send it over.
You've got your fish fingers coming, you.
Oh, yeah.
Greedy good.
Tonight, it'll be fucking, you see fish fingers flying across the screen.
Yeah, if you see it dinner coming across Jack's screen, it is food delivery for Jack anyway.
For the City fans, right, well.
I won't mind using that to eat my food off. To be fair, says Chris, win a Champions League, City, and then 1882 Reds podcast, cooking lasagna. What's your name, Arsene Wenger? God's sake. Hi, Carrie, as well. Says Jeannie, but let's move on.
Wish I could cook lasagna before we get food poisoning. Have I done it? Sorry.
I
don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know where to start.
No, it'll just be a ball of fire and just pop coming out. Let's move on.
So you'll see my YouTube search history tonight. How do you do lasagna?
I'm on to many other things as well, not.
Bloody hell,
Well, let's move on then. Liverpool versus West Ham. Of course, we did lose to West Ham at the London Stadium, I believe it's called. At the beginning, around the beginning of the season. It was around about a few games into the season. We did lose 3-2 that day, but hopefully the Reds can bounce back and beat the Irons anyway at Anfield. Jack, of course, a very difficult game. Of course, West Ham are pushing for Champions League football. And to be fair, David Moyes has done a pretty good job there, considering, when he was there first time round, struggling with relegation, and so on. But he has completely changed West Ham for the better. How have you thought this season has gone anyway so far?
Yeah, Mo off the Simpsons. It's not been too bad in terms of obviously transforming them. Either that or Smeagol. But yeah, he's a very good football manager. Transition from Lord of the Rings to the Premier League, so it's not been too bad. Revenge tour. Liverpool have been on this tour since the start of the season. Obviously, one of the two teams that have beat us this season. I'd say they were tremendous, but they preyed on Liverpool's weaknesses, and hopefully this isn't the case come the weekend, come tomorrow afternoon. set pieces, Liverpool have got to be alert. Alisson, I think he preyed on his vulnerability. He's not got a lot of them, but in terms of that game, he was a bloody mess all over. In terms of his 6-yard box, I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot more commanding come the weekend. I'm pretty sure John Achterberg and the goalkeeping coaches have literally probably got players, Van Dyke bumping into him in terms of practicing for tomorrow. So fingers crossed, mate. It's not going to be an easy game. The Jared Bowen, I think Jurgen Klopp was full of praise in his press conference today. Everyone knows Declan Rice, tremendous player. So they got a lot of quality to hit Liverpool, but I think if we do the job in terms of focusing on ourselves, obviously, but I'm excited. Even if we win this game 1-0, as the most important thing, like Soph and Dan probably will allude to, is we are mounting the pressure on Man City. We will be on the same amount of points, well, same games played, but obviously it will be, when that has happened over the last couple of weeks, Liverpool, City have buckled under pressure. After that, already got a fucking referee decision, but we move on from that. Won't mention that. Christ. But yeah, can't wait. Fingers crossed.
No, we won't anyway. But yeah, so the last time there was a lot of what ifs in that game. Of course, I think West Ham, like Jack mentioned, West Ham's first goal. VAR could have easily have changed that decision. Sadio Mane, I think, missed 2 or 3 opportunities to draw and then, of course, get us the winner if it had gone in. But I think this Liverpool side has definitely moved on from there. That for me, that was still up there, one of the worst performances of the season, and I haven't seen that Liverpool in a very long time. But are you confident for West Ham as well?
Yeah, I think it was early season in November. That's teething problems for me at the start of the season. And I'm not saying last season as a stupid. We had a lot of players come back from injury. It takes time to get your standards back up to where they should be. Since Christmas has passed, we've seen our players go right back to their highest levels. We've seen them suddenly go, oh my God, like Virgil's starting to feel a bit more secure in his jumps and his knees. We're becoming more of a threat from set pieces again. We're seeing that tactical analysis, that tactical talent come back through the squad again, and it's improved massively since then. And I think West Ham just capitalised on a not nervy, but little bit of a shaky recovery in Liverpool. We were still in the process of recovering from last year, and they did capitalize on it. Alisson has had so many different players in front of him. I'm not saying that's an excuse for Alisson's performance. It wasn't great, but having newly returned centre backs in front of you, and it's changed yet again. Trying to get used to that, build that foundation again. We were a bit of a shambles, a bit of a mess. But like you said, we haven't seen that Liverpool since then. All we've done is gone from strength to strength to strength to strength. And now our team's got this lovely little bit of squad depth as well, where we can rotate if things aren't working and bring on impactful subs in a game. I'm not worried. I mean, I know West Ham are playing well and, they're changing things for the better, but they're not Liverpool's level. They're not. And at the end of the day, we are the better team, and it's our game to lose. And if we're going to go there with the mentality of, West Ham are playing much better now, then West Ham deserve to win. But we need to go into that game like it's a final and just show them what Liverpool's about. It's as simple as that. And if you're worried about them, football's not for you. I'm sorry, but you can't be worried about other teams. Now just worry about your performance, and that's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to be fair, 1882 Rays podcast was an excellent point, Dan. Canate versus Antonio. It's going to be, a very, very good battle. Of course, Antonio, is certainly one of West Ham's best players. I think, as Jack mentioned, Jared Bowen as well. I think he's on 9 goals and 9 assists this season so far, which is, unbelievable. But what do you think about West Ham, Dan? And do you think that we'll see a lot more changes than what we have seen from Liverpool? Because of course we've got the likes of Curtis Jones, looks like he's going to be missing. Naby is iffy as well. Of course, Thiago is definitely out for the game. How could you see Liverpool lining up against West Ham as well?
Well, just touching on West Ham, they have massively improved this season. They've been brilliant. But one thing I've noticed, that the form has slightly tailed off. I think they've only won about 2 in the last 7. And the good news for Liverpool is I checked out the team in midweek, and they played most of the first team. They made a couple of changes here and there, but they played. And when you play midweek and then you play Saturday, it's always a struggle, especially if you're playing against a team who didn't play in midweek. And although obviously Liverpool Football Club had a fixture, we made 10 changes, so we're going to be a little bit fresher, which should make the difference. Whereas West Ham will be playing most of the same guys who played on Wednesday night, so hopefully that'll give us a little boost. But yeah, West Ham got some cracking players. Jarrett Bowen's brilliant, but the player I always like, who always impresses me, is Fornells. Seems to have a real bit of such a class about him. In terms of our team, interesting one. Obviously, Ali's going to be in goal, isn't he? I think Trent and Andy Robbo. I think it'll be Canate and Van Dyke. Midfield, Fabinho and Henderson for definite. Then it's, as I say, it's horses for courses. Then in the other position, and it could be Oxlade-Chamberlain, could be Curtis if he's fit, could be Naby if he's fit. It's one of them where whichever one of them plays, you can almost guarantee they'll be first sub. So that's what I was saying, going back to whoever was disappointed on Saturday and Sunday about missing out on the cup final. Well, if you don't want to miss out on the next cup final, this is going to be your opportunity tomorrow. Make a claim. Don't come in. If you're Oxlade-Chamberlain and you go sick because you didn't get off the bench last Sunday, don't play tomorrow and drop a 6 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? And then up top, Salah will play, Mane, and then it's interesting. It's either Jota or Diaz, and who knows? Toss a coin. Either way, either of them two play, I'm quite happy. Brilliant. Isn't it great to have a little bit of depth again?
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. And Jack, for me, I said that, when that game happened, and I believe against Leicester as well, when we lost, we seen that midfielder Fabinho, Ox and Hendo. I said it then. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it tomorrow neither. For me personally, I'd much rather see, a Harvey Elliott given an opportunity, because there is going to be space to get in behind West Ham, if we expect them to come out and play football. But would you agree with Dan on his lineup as well?
Yeah, especially playing 2 6s. You know what you're going to get: 4-2-3-1, defensive, low block defense, and it's important that obviously if we do play Elliott, we need midfielders that will try and at least get in behind and stretching, or see Souček or Rice, whoever plays in the holding roles, and try and just expand the defence and get in behind in those little pockets. But yeah, I'd go with Henderson, Elliott, and obviously I think, as we all see in the press conference today, I think Naby's touch and go. So I wouldn't be too bothered if we see Milner. Obviously, no. I'm saying bloody Fabinho, Henderson, and Elliott would be my first three, but possibly see Milner. Obviously, whether it be a sub and that, but I think should be sound. I'm just looking at the stats there as well. Liverpool have scored in each of their last 11 Premier League games against West Ham, netting at least twice in 10 of those meetings, 31 goals in total. And Liverpool have won their last. This is a good one. Liverpool have won the last 6 Premier League games by an average score of 18-2 at home. The Reds are unbeaten in 17 league games, with 13 wins and 4 draws, winning the last 8 games by an average score of 26-2. So, those stats say, we've been slapping everyone at home, and hopefully that continues tomorrow afternoon. We do our job, as Soph said. We should be having too much.
Yeah, definitely. And Jackson into Owen from Cop on, and I absolutely love it to see it. No, but a score prediction then for the game, guys. Let us know your starting 11s in the comments, and of course score prediction. So I'm not coming to you, don't worry. I've been told. Jack, score prediction for tomorrow.
Oh Christ! I've just seen no stats, so I'm going big. Yeah, I'll go 4-1 to Liverpool. Oh, fucking! You better not clip this, any West Ham fans. 4-1.
I expect more from you.
More.
Expect 9.
0, 8, 0, 9, 0, 5. Now you're like 4-1.
I was shitting myself when it was in my language, but my bet was nearly coming in against Leeds. If Mane actually finished all those chances, me 9-0 bet would have come in, and would have seen me run on the pitch. Like, fucking hell, boys. Stupid me. I don't ask me why I went 9-0 against Leeds, but I went 9-0 on the bookies. I tried 10-0, but it wouldn't let me. So I was only 3 goals off, but yeah, I go 4-1. But I'll take a 1-0, but that's boring. So I'll go 4-1. Yeah.
To be fair, if it happened, then I would have been, screaming for you anyway. But
it would have been rounds on me tonight. Would have been all these dominoes and everything. Just relax.
But Dan,
I would have paid for all the stag do's bloody bevies tonight. Or was it all going checking in on Webbies and then be like, yeah, there you go, fuck it out.
But to be fair, we'd definitely be going and knocking on Jack's door anyway. But 1-1.
Yeah. I'd be thrilled with any sort of win, but I'll go 2-0 for this one.
Okay, I can the sensible option. I get from Dan anyway, but I feel
sound that's anyway chatting here.
Feel for that guy who missed out on 1,600 points when Virgil Van Dyke scored ahead of 5-0. Salah to score first and Mane last. Well, to be fair, I feel sorry for the guy that. I think he failed his cash out with $2,000 with Matip scoring in the final.
No, he did. He
got
like
it, did he?
Yeah, he cashed out. Clever bollocks. As soon as Matip scored, he cashed out on $2,000 and robbed $2,000 off the bookies.
And they're going.
Yeah. He's got quick fingers, him, lad. Fucking hell. He's like, whoa!
He's not got in the body.
Less of that depth talk is starting to hit the fan. Look, we've got it. We've got people. So happy days at them.
That's not last year. This feels like a cakewalk, doesn't it? Oh no, we've got 3 players out with minor injuries. They'll take 3 to 4 weeks to return. Oh no! Whereas last year was like 9 months.
Don't bring back the depressing days, so please. Alisson, Arnold, Canate, Virgil, Robbo, Fabinho, Hendo, Elliott, Salah, Jota, and Mane for Chris. Chris says, cheers, Jack, for the stats.
Cheers, Jeff.
Stat man Makendo becoming a new channel soon. Jack should be on Soccer Saturday. 3-1 says Chris for Liverpool. Owen is a legend, the new David Attenborough. He is the David Attenborough. I love Owen's voice. Liverpool 2-0 be a close game, says Luke. Owen should replace David Attenborough. Jeannie, who needs Monty if you have Owen and Jack? Yeah, to be fair, I don't know about that one. What else we do? Gary says Ali, Becca, Trent, Canate, Van Dyke, Robertson, Hendo, Fabinho, Elliott, Salah, Jota, and Diaz. So you'd leave Mane out on the bench for that one. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Virgil, Robbo, Fabinho, Hendo, Elliott, Jota, Mane, and Salah, and going for the 3-0 as well. Jeannie, and I heard a rumor when I was in Liverpool that Jack is taking his boots tomorrow. He is going to run.
No chance. I get tired going up the bloody stairs, lad. It wouldn't even last 10 seconds. I'll be taking me inhaler. You just see me on the touchline. Oh, I'm bloody tired. Yeah, I can't press anymore. Sorry, mate.
Ambulance!
Yeah. See, Soph in the stand, Soph. I won't be able to come on the podcast.
Don't know you.
For some reason, like if anyone's seen Rocky 4 when he's running in the snow, I can just imagine Makendo doing that. Just running uphill.
Milner just dragging me along. How the fuck do you do this, lad?
But scruffy neck.
But moving on, we will speak, of course, after the West Ham game. We do play Inter Milan in the Champions League, of course, Champions League nights back at Anfield, of course. And, Liverpool do have a 2-0 advantage going into that leg. We're hoping that Thiago will be back for it. Jurgen has said that it is a possibility that he could play against Inter. But Jack, 2-0 up, of course, no away goals as well in this, of course, because for some reason they've taken out this year. But confident for Inter, being 2-0 up and looking ahead, well, not looking ahead really, but Inter, not having the best in Serie A at the minute. They are, by the looks of things, struggling at the moment, in terms of playing wise, and even against us. I know we've spoken about it, how people say they dominated us, but when you look at it, they didn't even have a shot on target, I don't believe, until the 80th minute. So what are your thoughts ahead of this game?
Excited, mate. You can never be too overconfident, says me, and we'll be fucking stupid predictions. So yeah, I'm going to be very confident. The main reason it was massive that we did get the 2 goals, because the worst thing to do against Liverpool side is come to Anfield and attack, because that's not what you want to do. And obviously, Inter will be needing the longer it goes. Liverpool, I think, will do what Inter tried to do at home in the San Siro. I think we'll be composed on the ball, sit behind the ball, and hopefully look to counter attack. I think we play our best games when we do that. I think when we try and lull teams onto us and we just hit them on the break. And obviously, we possibly could make a couple of changes, but Anfield would be absolutely bloody bouncing. It's not going to be an easy game, but I think with the fact that Inter will have to come out, yet again, Barella will be missing for this tie. He's their main man, obviously out due to suspension. Not too sure in terms of any other injuries, but yeah, fully confident, mate. But as I said, the crowd will be absolutely bloody bouncing. And if we can get a couple of goals like we did against Atletico Madrid in the knockout, well, in the group stage, then the electric atmosphere will be absolutely bouncing. I can't wait. No better time than Champions League night, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this does really remind me of, Atletico Madrid earlier on in the season where, we just beaten them away and, they come to Anfield and that. And I know, there's a lot more, of a risk here because, of course, it is knockout football. But it does just seem that Liverpool will just go, all out and, make it another, hopefully another magical European night at Anfield. What are your thoughts?
Bring it on. Bring on. Literally, bring on your internationality. Bring them all on. I'm not asked. We went to their home and battered them 2-0. And everyone goes, oh, well, they battered us. No, they had like a good 15, 20 minutes spell. Let's be honest. In the first half, they had a good little bit of time where we were testing out what they were going to do. And then we came out. We didn't even really get out of third gear, to be honest. And we still done that. And you're now coming to our home, which is going to be under the lights at Anfield with the fans absolutely belting it. And you think it's going to be an easy game for Inter? They're not. Liverpool are it's knockout. We haven't got the cushion of away goals anymore. The aggregate's gone. That safety net type thing has been taken away. Now you've got to fight for it. If we lose to them by enough to knock our 2 goals that we scored there out, then, we're out. It's like literally the pressure's on for both teams here. But can I see them coming to Anfield and scoring 3? No. I'm sorry. Not without us scoring something as well. Like, I just think it's going to be a good game. It's not going to be an easy game, but I'm not worried about it because it's Liverpool and Anfield, the Champions League. This is what it's made of. I think if I was away, I'd be a bit more type thing. But there's the comfort in Anfield, isn't there?
Yeah, no, there is, and Dan, exactly as what Jack and Sophie said. You look at it and you go, Inter haven't really been the best. I remember, that game watching it with AC Milan and Inter, and I saw, we've seen how Liverpool battered, that Milan side, in the group stage for 42 minutes, and I think that is similar as well. But again, a European night, under the lights at Anfield, it should be, plain and simple for Liverpool next week.
Yeah, the Italian league's not particularly strong, is it? When you think about it, we beat AC Milan, as you said, in the group stage, home and away. Man United, I think they got 2 decent results against Atalanta, and Man United are pretty poor, aren't they? And obviously we went over there a couple of weeks ago and beat them. As Sophie said, they had a 15-20 minute spell where they put us under a bit of pressure. As you said, they didn't actually get a shot on target during that spell. Yeah, 2-0 lead, can you really see them coming to Anfield and beating us by 3 clear goals, which is what they need to do to get through? No, not really. I know it probably comes to team selection, obviously, with a two goal lead. Gives us a little bit of wiggle room, doesn't it? Because we have also got to keep looking ahead to the next game after that, which is Brighton, which is at 12:30 kickoff, which can always be a tough turnaround, playing midweek and then playing the early game on the Saturday. So I'm sure Klopp would like to make 1 or 2 changes. I'm sure he will do without being too cavalier. But yeah, I fully expect us to get through.
Yeah, 100%. And going on to team news, or the team selection, I think pretty much all of us would have Ali in the net. I think the big question marks, Jack, is the fact of who is going to play in defence, especially if Matip is back, from his illness. And of course, Kostas Tsimikas as well. Will Tsimikas get a run in the Champions League? But what would be your defence to play into?
I think we'll go strong, mate, due to the fact that, as we said, we made 10 changes against Norwich. I think Robbo's had a little rest. And obviously we've got Brighton, we've got United coming up in the league after West Ham. So the games are coming thick and fast every 3 or 4 days. The turnover is going to be mad, which is when we play our best football historically. I'd go Robbo, left back, Trent, right back, Ibu, and Van Dyke, because I think both of them, remember that we all watched that bloody face, both of them controlled them, absolutely dominant performance anyway. It was Ibu that played in the first leg, wasn't he? Yeah, was it Ibu in the first leg? So, yeah, both of them absolutely bloody bossed the San Siro, as they already have done it already this season. But yeah, and obviously Ali in goal, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Soph, midfield for you?
Oh, God, if Thiago's back. If Thiago's back for it, I'd go for Thiago, Naby, Fab, probably. Give that a balance. If they're not back, I don't know. You just play Hendo, Fabinho, maybe Elliot. I just wouldn't put Ox in. I just don't want to put Ox in the midfield.
all of us are like, no to Ox.
Oh my God, who's fit? Because Jones is out, and I was like, oh my God, who's actually fit who can play before Ox?
I know, it's a shame that we are a bit like that, but I absolutely get it.
But it's a big game.
Yeah.
It is a big game. I'd rather still not play Harvey Elliott in that game as well. I'd rather go for our tried and tested European royalty type players. Yeah. If they're fit, my ideal would be having Naby and Thiago with Fab. That would be a good ideal midfield for me, I think.
Yeah. And Dan, front three for against Inter?
Salah. It'd definitely be Salah because he's like a goal machine, isn't he? And he wants to play and all that. And then it's just that I think probably Firmino got a game because he's been missing, hasn't he? But for a while, isn't he? And then the other one, it's could be Diaz, could be Mane, could be anyone, could even throw Origi, and I would not be surprised to see Origi get a game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's just guessing, innit? You know what I mean? Because he could play any combination of our front people, and you're not really necessarily weakening the forward line.
Yeah, no.
Even if, he does play, Origi, he starts Origi. There's nothing stopping him from bringing Diaz or Mane or Jota on it. After half time, is there?
Not at all, man.
No, I absolutely agree with all of you there. Let's read a few of your comments before we do it on the score predictions. Canate, best game against Inter. Against Inter, we need a top-class first half, and we should be fine. Gary says, I would like Liverpool to be more aggressive in the final third. I feel for Ox. I ain't going to say a bad word about him. His injury has been such a blow for his Liverpool career. His time is up at the club, surely. But thank you, Ox. Go on, John.
Oh, there's me more. Hang on. Yeah, it's difficult with Ox, mate, isn't it? I've been one of his biggest fans, I think, when we bought him from Arsenal. We wouldn't be in this situation. I don't think any Liverpool fan. We obviously all back our players, and we all 100% back Ox this season. And if he did start putting in better performances, we'd not have qualms about it. But the games in which he has played, he's not really set the world alight, has he? If you're being honest. But if he stays fit till now at the end of the season, and whatever happens, come the end of his window. If he scores the winner in the Champions League, loads he made up, and we all wish him the best. But if Ox actually got a rocket up his backside and started playing better than himself, he himself knows he's not playing at the level in which he knows he can. So if he can come back when he does get an opportunity, if he does score against Inter, great. But we've all seen Ox over the last 2 years. I know he's had his injuries, but even post his injuries, he's not been playing his best football, if you're being honest.
Yeah, 100%. Score prediction. I'll ask for Inter, Jack. What are you going for? 10-0?
Well,
yeah, I'd go 3-1 to Liverpool. Yeah, I'll go 3-1.
Dan?
Yeah, 2-0, mate.
2-0. So I'm not going to ask you because you'll end up being like looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's tradition, lad.
Yeah.
It's like,
Have we had a bad result since I refused to do them?
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. So I'll continue them forever. But that is the end of the main show anyway. If there's any questions you do have for any of us, then please feel free to leave them in the comments before we do head off. Anyway, Connor, Liverpool should go after Inter Milan striker Caoimhin Kelleher.
It's a bad video, that.
Yeah. Our injury list was interesting to see. That's all I'm saying. Chris is also going with a Liverpool 2-0 against Inter as well. Origi isn't interested unless we're losing. Look, substitution in Champions League. Origi loves being substituted on and creating wonderful moments. To be fair, if you showed a Divock Origi compilation to any football club, he'll be worth £100 million. To be fair,
I still love him, mate. I think we all do. Like, and he answers the critics back straight away, doesn't he? I think it was the game. He comes on and makes an impact. Was it the league game or the cup? One of the cup games was last week or the week before when he come on and he got like kind of an assist. It ricocheted, but yeah, we all loved it.
I just love the way he's had more drinks in Last Chance Saloon than anyone. And then there he is on Sunday. Not only did he make the bench, he got on in normal time. Then it went to extra time, so he got a fair amount of minutes and then took the pen. So he got like this whole thing where he earns his medal and got played and all that. And a few weeks ago, he was looking dusted again, wasn't he, when we bought Diaz, and we suddenly had a bit more depth up front. You thought, well, that's the end of it. He's not going to get a game, but there he is. He's there on the winners podium or whatever you want to call it with his medal. He just seems to come in from the cold.
Do you know what? Regardless of what Divock has done, I know we were all like at the end of last season, like, oh, Divock's got to go for a go. Just for that 90 plus 6 minute header winner against Everton, sod the Champions League, sod the European League, sod all against Everton, we'll just put him at the top forever for me. Like, that's just prime Divock, that innit?
I'm pretty sure he'll probably lead the line against the Everton in a couple of weeks as well. He loves it, don't he?
Well, I think he has, like, out of the whole Liverpool squad, he has the most goals against Everton. I think.
So, go ahead, Jürgen, you know what to do. Wind them all up.
Ian Rush, question for that. Luke, Ian Rush. How many fish fingers does Jack have? Surely an even number.
Whole box after lockdown, mate. I'm having the whole bloody box, man. I love it. Oh, mayonnaise. Oh, no, salad cream. It depends. Oh, we don't want to start that debate. What sauce did you have, you fish fingers? Christ. Here all night.
We literally have our own individual stream for that. I would assume. Hello, everyone. Good to have won the League Cup, and a win is ideal against West Ham. Hello, Ballum. Hope you're having a fantastic day, mate. It's because we have a boss team, Soph. Chris, Haaland is off to Real Madrid with Mbappe. Lucas asks, Soph, if you had a fancy team with all the podcasts, who would you put in all positions if you was manager?
Oh God, how long have you got for me to figure this out? Can I come back to you with that? Because it'll take me a while.
Well, I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll have 5 minutes. Divock is a legend.
Fish fingers would be cold, then, lad.
It was. I'm on it. Look, I'm making
it.
Divock is a legend. He has more goals than Harold Kane. Good old Harold Kane. Big Div says Luke. Hey Ballum as well. And Fish Fingers says.
I hope Luke. I hope you're not calling me a big divvy. Yeah.
Put Jack on the bench with his fish fingers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll be like with that. Was it Tram? Not Tram, yeah. With the Medellin, with the big fella on the bench, sat there eating his pie.
The pie.
Yeah, you have a compilation of me and that fella just grand.
Imagine Connor as manager of a fancy football. We know who his first pick will be. Look, it's not Naby Keita. The first pick is Virgil Van Dyke. Don't get me started on that. But Diaz, 28 days, won a trophy. Fernandez, 2 years, no trophies. As Dan has disappeared. Dan has gone goodbye. What's he fair? The big point as well we haven't really mentioned is the fact that Ruben Diaz as well looks to be out for 6 weeks, which rules him out of the Liverpool game.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm not saying a word. But also, I would like to point out: has anyone seen that thing about the Man United game with us being rescheduled to the 20th of April? Happy birthday, me! I swear.
Oh, is it on your birthday?
On my birthday, the friggin'
Could be a very good birthday then.
I was born.
Oh yeah, bloody hell. Yeah.
Jamie Lee Collar.
I'm gonna have to send you the video. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say it. I'm gonna have to say it. But guys, we are gonna leave it there anyway for tonight. It has been an hour and 15-minute show. No Doug, of course. He is enjoying his I was gonna say stag, but it isn't his stag, it's his friend's stag. So I do apologise for what's everyone's favourite fish.
Beer battered cod. You've got to have like a proper good crispy beer battered cod.
Salmon, but it's bloody expensive. But I'll go with that salmon.
I was expecting fish fingers there, Jack.
Can't beat fish fingers, lads. Bit tight. Oh.
Yeah, be about
because of my fat bastards.
What's your favourite fish?
Yeah.
What has the show become? United are shite.
So we're making it. Sorry, Joe. We're taking over. We're gonna make a TikTok channel about fish fingers and food. We're rebranding this channel.
Jack through transitions with fish fingers.
Jack, I want.
Clean it.
I want you at the start of it, like the post-match show for West Ham. The fish finger.
We are sponsored this week.
Birdseye. You don't change your green screen to Birdseye fish fingers to the postman. I'm going to be really annoyed.
Out of context, McKindo. No one, everyone's going to be clicking, what the fuck? Well, you need to have watched Doug's episode this week.
Literally. I'm live at 8:30 if any of you want to join. I would, but I am live also at 8:30, so maybe I might change it. So
I'll have it on both tabs.
Can you imagine a Super League happening with no LFC involved? Of course. Go back and watch that. We did speak about that.
We'll have a clean sweep of the Champions League then if all these teams are going in. So it sounds.
True. Thoughts on FIFA 22?
Shite.
If it's anything from what I can hear from upstairs at the minute that my husband's playing on when he's banging the shit out of the ceiling, I'm like, not great. Halfway through, I was like, stop banging on that fucking ceiling.
Typical FIFA. Jack went safe for salmon and fish fingers.
How's that safe? What's safe about salmon? Yeah. Was it a draft pick of salmon? Fish. Yeah, you got your fish one.
You have to do a start at 11 of fish. Who would you pick?
Oh, Doug's never done a let's take over again. For fuck's sake.
What's happened to the show? Do you see Fulham on Bournemouth?
Your bastard goal was wet.
Doug's going to message me tomorrow and go, how did the show go? I was like, yeah, it's fine. We spoke about fish for about half an hour. Like,
so, yeah, Birdseye being manager sound.
Doug, if Birdseye do get in contact, we want percentage because we've promoted it by you.
Lovely. But
go up now. Tim was like, oh, really fancy fish now.
Palmer's gone. Do you see Fulham and Bournemouth as a match going up? If you mean Tim's getting up to the Premier League, yep. I think Fulham and pretty much there. I think Bournemouth will get there as well. Gary says, I hate fish. One loves.
I've never had that. Is that
one loves calamari?
All right, Dave. Welcome. Yeah, Dave. Hello, everyone. Dave, you've joined at the perfect time. You've turned on to a perfect time. Mitchell says, roll maca in some breadcrumbs. I'm not going to read the rest. So fast in watershed. Oh, right, guys.
Very quickly now.
To be fair, we are going to leave it there because the amount of fish talk in the chat right now.
Yeah, thank you, Doug, anyway, for having me. I'd say thank you, Connor, but he's just the host, aren't you, La? So thank you very much, Doug, for having me on. And Connor, you've done a great job as well. Everyone's done it. And Dan, great speaking to you, lad. He's disappeared, obviously.
That hasn't come back, mate.
Yeah. Well, great to speak to everyone, and I've enjoyed the match. Everyone, pretty sure we all will.
No, we will. And guys, thank you very much. Doug will be back next week, where we can all literally, Luke.
There's always got to be one, haven't you, Luke? Christ.
Right, great job, guys. Hopefully all of you enjoyed. Have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully the Reds can win, and if you're having some fish, please enjoy.
Our context related. When have a good weekend.
I can't.
Bye, guys.